Hello, friends and potential enemies. This is Rise Again. And what we have here is Dark Fang numero uno from Image Comics. Apparently, it's about a vampire who gets pissed off about global warming, so she decides to come pay humanity. So, you know, pay us a visit. It has everything I want out of a comic book. It's got a sexy vampire and a reminder to go green, or else you'll be eaten by a sexy vampire. The cover is a vampire biting into a planet covered in what I can only presume is an oil slick, but if she's Australian, this is most likely Vegemite, which is just as bad to bite into, I would say. When I was a kid, I had an Australian friend that put that shit on everything. It looks like motor oil marmalade. There's nothing appetizing about it at all. It actually looks like you're spreading the bubonic plague on toast or something. Vegemite is rank. It's essentially leftover brewer's yeast extract with some vegetables and spice additives put in that they never really specify what those things are. All I fucking see is a sci-fi movie spore colony needing urgent napalming. It's gross. It was invented in 1922, probably to feed very hungry people. Newsflash, we ain't so hungry that we need to eat what brew workers scrape off their boots at the end of the day anymore. Okay? The world has moved on. Now, we pay brewers to give us craft beers so we can pretend to be cooler than we really are while drinking beer that tastes like Dutch chocolate. Okay? We don't need the refuse. We don't need leftover hipster yeast. Okay? Go ahead and keep that. All right? Stop spreading the devil's jizz on innocent biscuits, everyone. Okay? Devil jizz. Yeah, and Vegemite. We haven't even opened the book yet. Okay. So one thing this cover says to me is poisoned apple, but not sure if they're going for that. Maybe that'll be kind of a metaphor in the story. We'll just have to find out. We also open on almost titties. What you call a hook, or I guess it's what we call a hook. Boys and girls. Internet titties, no less. Just another young girl who needs to make quick cash from the comfort of her bedroom. The terrified stare of a teddy bear Daddy gave her when she was 6 in the background. What could ruin this moment? Here comes the money shot of blood. Blood all over titties. At first I thought this was just pointless shock and schlock, but you know what? I think this is a good way to let us know what this book is going to be about. Blood and tits. I can handle that if you guys can. Where did this blood splatter come from? We turn the page and a vampire, duh. She dines upon some dipshit while he can barely take his eyes off his phone. She takes a look at the electronic box that held his attention, and we see that little terrified Teddy is now smiling. Oh boy. You ever watch porn and just for a moment the horny demon in you subsides and you say, oh God, that's someone's daughter. Like, that person is just recently had Thanksgiving with her parents. And she looks like she's fresh out of high school and there's already like 100,000 miles of cock on her. Do you ever just lose your libido for just a second because of that? Is it just me? I don't know. Freaks me out. Anyway, I always, and especially with the cam girls, I can't watch them. I'll feel bad. I'll just feel bad. Anyway, so Scarlett Johanna Pyre discovers that people will pay you now to be a slut from the comfort of your own bedroom. So she seeks out some Mark Wade looking scrub to give her the lowdown. And of course he knows it all. He explains how much cash she can make a night and sets her up with a profile. And she makes him a headless zombie slave. So his head is now detachable, and he actually looks as happy as ever, so that was an easy transition for him. It's messy, but I kind of like it. It's kind of funny. It kind of lends itself to the humor in this book, so fun. Her screen name, Alucarda 13. Adorable. So headless Renfield Mark Wade, which is probably not too far from real life, walks her through quests for tokens and explains emoticons, and she feels about them the same way I do, pretty much. She finds them pathetic, and she's wondering why she isn't getting tokens so far as the people shoot her broken internet lingo at her. And she belts out something great. She says, "Enough of your hideous emoticons!" Something I think I end up screaming at my computer screen just about, every day. And she works her vampiric hypnotism and makes that shit rain. Kind of awesome to see a modern day vampire using webcam magic against us. You can see all the viewers from all walks of perversion becoming her willing patrons. And one of them is a Dragon Ball Z character. Check that guy out. You find him? Look for him. I had a friend who did the webcam thing once or twice. She still can't scrub that shit off the net. It's like trying to wash off Vegemite, I'd say. You can't do it fully. So people, don't do that. Don't ever put yourself on the net doing that. It will stay. It leaves a mark, let's just say. Like Vegemite. So she keeps her slaves waiting for the day while she sleeps, and then she rises at night to suck their bank accounts dry. It's cute. It's working out well, but trouble in paradise. A mob boss's son, complete with Eurotrash tracksuit, hands over $20 million to her in a single tip, and his father goes fucking bonkers, beats the shit out of him, and sends some muscle her way to take her out. But she turns their heads into her new playthings and gets back to it. Good on her. She's deadly. I like it. It's good stuff. So we got the hypnotism, the ultraviolence. She's deadly. She's an effective vampire, and she's having fun. So after learning her lesson, she realizes she has to cover her tracks a little bit more with this whole webcam making it rain thing. So her solution: you saw me naked. Now burn yourself and everything you own. Fair trade. She's ferocious. I fucking love it. She's just a heartless killer of a vampire. The way they need to be after Twilight came out and turned vampires into the Class 5 clinger boyfriend of Vidal Sassoon commercials. Fuck. Who drive Volvos. Vampires and Volvos. And no one said shit. Everyone just, yep, they would drive in a a well-designed, very safe vehicle, I would say. Yeah, okay. So, but you could tell, even though she seems to have it all, something's missing. And she has an army of loyal slaves. She has money. What else could a girl want? Oh yeah, Castle fucking Dracula. Okay, it's cheesy, but who cares? It's a fucking vampire story. She's a vampire out to conquer the world. Of course she needs a good castle. And slave boy Mark Wade pours champagne down his throat hole to celebrate. Isn't that adorable? This book is like some secret vampire sex story by someone who works for Disney or something. It's hilarious. So we have this lovely graphic page of her flashing back to her simple life some centuries back as a fisherwoman. And some douchepire who looks like what happens when you turn a piece of broccoli into an undead sentient parasite. He turns her, bites her, and he whisks her away to his dark castle. I kind of like the line movement here and the way he moves in an abstract kind of dreamlike way. It gives it a storybook fairy tale feel, but also lends itself well to like what we're seeing is a memory, so things aren't very definite or clear. It's kind of dreamlike. In that way. So she's made the castle bitch by the Jolly Green Nosferatu, and she has to be a servant to him and 3 bitch wives. So we got kind of a Cinderella vampire tale going. She has to clean up after their blood orgies. She plots her next move though, because apparently these vampires they might be powerful and laughing their asses off, but they're fucking stupid, and she sees that right away. So she's deadly, she's smart, she's kind of got it all going on. She kills her creator with a broomstick, which she was surprised how easy that was. And then here we have the 3 wives with blood-soaked faces, and she takes care of them. She beheads them and leaves them tacked to a wall. I like this wicked stepsister approach to the wives. It's kind of fun too. And I like how she took care of them so effectively. We see that we're dealing with kind of a vampire above the rest here, So she leaves the castle completely coated head to toe in blood and walks straight into the ocean to start fresh. Nothing says fresh like the sea, am I right? The ocean worked pretty well for her, actually. She doesn't need to breathe, and in the depths, the sun's not going to reach you. She can move with her vampire abilities through the water with ease, and the food is definitely there. So it's actually kind of a cool idea for a vampire to kind of get away from it all, so to speak. She has, in fact, it turns a little Disney here because she's got a jellyfish dress or something, and it glows. I don't know. We'll let that slide because I don't know. She meets another great predator of the sea and enjoys blood as much as she does, a shark, and somehow they become BFFs and scour the sea together looking for the kill. I don't know how she did it, but a vampire riding around on a shark shouldn't be cute, but it is kind of cute. I don't know how they did it. It really is. So she finds old shipwrecks and reads books and keeps herself entertained. She has a whole like little life going under the sea. When she was bored and had a little bloodlust, she'd kill off giant squids or whatever ocean monster crossed their path. And yeah, once again, you could say the girl might maybe had it all. But as with all paradise scenarios and stories, it must end. An explosion above, and then the Vegemite comes. The Vegemite cometh, people. Black yeasty filth of death descends upon. Okay, look, it's probably oil, let's just be honest, but still. It's black and it shouldn't be eaten. That's all you need to know, okay? Um, Darkness envelops everything, and the only, with her vampiric powers, could she escape. But her friend, Sharkina or whatever, is sick and suffering, and so she does what any of us would do, and she eats her, right? I'd eat her. I mean, what with this? I don't know. She says she hopes that she'll see her again in shark heaven or whatever. I don't know. Do sharks go to heaven? Something to ponder. So she decides to come up and find out what caused the Vegemite spill. And though everything was killed by the black yeast byproduct invasion, her dress somehow survives, and she explains that it did because she drank blood. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Apparently, this vampire can have like a jellyfish dress and have it become part of her physical form, so something it's somehow other than just clothing. It's weird, it doesn't make sense, but whatever. Maybe it comes up later in the book. I don't know. She has this strange moment where she has to tell her dress to piss off and go home. Very Disney. Disney, Disney. So Disney, I almost think they're working on the jellyfish dress costume for release as we speak, to be honest. So look out for it the next time you frequent the Disney store. She enchants some scrub and takes his clothes and enters our world of neon, staring at cell phones, and actually finds it fun. And she can feel our hearts beating and sense our desires. She remembers what it's like to be human again for a moment while surrounded by people who've forgotten how to be human and would rather dick around on their cell phones than appreciate what's going on around them, you know. Which is a fine commentary, actually. It's a good point. A blood addicted parasite from beyond the grave knows how to be more human than we do. Something to think on again. Jellyfish dresses and Vegemite spills and vampires are better at being human than we are. What? So we cut to her sucking on a dude's abs like a ladies only screening of Magic Mike 3 as her servant sits below his umbrella for the blood licking going on around his phone. This story has a lot of cell phone usage, okay? It's almost constantly throughout the entire thing, except for like the flashback to hundreds of years ago. It's made some good points, but damn, like I'm feeling sick of my phone just reading it. She admits to feeling distracted by the fun of the human world, but no matter, she doesn't care because, as she says, time is my bitch. Then Renfield Wade sees something and she's worried about that she has a blood stash or whatever from her last meal, and he's like, no, 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 it's your teeth. And he snaps a shot of her teeth with his cell phone and hands it to her, and dun dun dun, it's Vegemite. Poor girl, poor sweet hypnotizing blood sucking suicide inducing head ripping girl. You have Vegemite on you. Tragic. Um, so overall, this book is fun. It's like kind of a Disney nightmare for adults. It's straightforward and not some environmentalist jerk fest. So it was actually kind of it was kind of an enjoyable little vampire romp. Lots of cell phone shit, but I think it's making some good points with it rather than making it like it's the coolest thing in the world. It points out that cell phones maybe aren't so fucking great, and there's kind of bad. There's like a dark side to them, which I can definitely appreciate. Um, let's see, the book's name, it doesn't really inspire originality, like Dark Fang. Dark Fang. Maybe the name will make more uh, of an impact with later issues because we see that her fang is indeed beginning to go dark. So we'll just have to see. Its premise, though, it sounds like its premise sounded like I was going to have a horrible book on my hands. It sounds more like Greenpeace than Blood and Tits, but No, it's not. It's not freaking out about the environment so far. Maybe it will later. I hope not. I wouldn't mind reading some more of this in the future. It's nice picking up a book that you don't think you're going to like and finding out it's a good read, you know? I recommend this book to anyone who likes Disney Gone Evil, blood, tits, and doesn't mind dealing with a Vegemite antagonist. There you go. So tell me what you think in the comments. I'm also taking requests for books to roast, so please let me know in the comments and subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll find out when my next horrible, terrible video comes out. I am Rise Again, and death to Ming!